Hello, traders. Good morning. Good morning, traders. Let me know if you all can hear me. Okay, good morning, everyone. So, check the resolution. Is the video quality and audio quality good? So, if you can hear me and if you can see me clearly, just type loud and clear in the comments. If you can hear me and you can see me clearly, type loud and clear in the comments. I'm also checking from my phone. Okay, it's very clear here. Loud and clear in the comments. All right, traders, you're welcome. It's nice to see you guys here again. Last week we were able to pack out good funds, and I believe we're gonna pack out good funds today. Okay, so let's quickly recognize those joining for the first time, or in case you're seeing me for the first time, this is Happiness Hanson. I've been trading for 5 years. So what I do here is to help everyone, just open your eyes to the reality of trading and how you can approach trading and, most likely start paying your bills with trading. So in here, I don't just share out signals. As I'm sharing out signals on how we can make money together, you can also learn how you can do it yourself. So if you're joining for the first time, quickly click on the subscription button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell because we don't just go live. I also drop educational videos here that will help you be on the same page with us so that whenever we are live, you understand what we are doing. So click the subscription button now and turn on the notification bell. So for the OGs in the house, you know the drill. Quickly share out the link and inform everyone that we are live. You can share out the link to your story, to the different groups you are in. Inform everyone that we are live so that they can join. You all are welcome. So, if you're joining for the first time, also drop your name and where you're joining us from. If you're joining for the first time, drop your name and where you're joining from. You're welcome, guys. So, let's get started. If you've made money this week, drop some money back in the comments. If you've made money this week, that means Monday movements. Drop some money bags in the comments. So for all of you joining for the first time, I can see you all. You're welcome. You're welcome. I can see you all dropping your name and where you're joining us from in the comments. If you've made money this week, some money bags in the comments. I don't know why someone is laughing. I did not say anything about laughing. You are not going to drop that laughing emoji in the comments. I'm not going to drop that laughing emoji. I know the other side, people are waiting. If you've not made money, drop laughing emoji in the comments. You are not going to drop it. You're not dropping it today. If you've made money this week, just drop the money bag in the comment. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with gold, XAUUSD. Let's start with gold. Okay, so confirm if you can see my chart clearly. Can you see my chart clearly? Okay, checking from my phone here, it's clear. So can you guys see my chart clearly? Okay. So gold has been pushing up massively. Let's start from the daily time frame. You know the drill. In here we trade smart money concept. So we'll start from the daily time frame to do our top-down analysis. Then we'll know the next line of action to take. So gold has been pushing up massively. You can see from here we have massive push to the upside. So let's get to know what is going on. So it's obvious that gold is bullish, and you know what that means. We just need to keep buying gold. Now, reading from the recent structures, we have a break of structure here, and we have a break of structure here. We have a break of structure here. So last week we did the analysis, and also gold was able to give us decent money last week. But you can see from the daily time frame, gold tapped into the FVG that caused this particular break of structure, which is what is causing this push. So that simply means this origin here was kind of an inducement, and now we have a new break of structure. We have a new break of structure here. So looking at it from the daily time frame, these are the visible structures from the daily time frame. So let's go to 4 hours and read the 4-hour structure. So from 4 hours, we still have the FVG here aligning. And then if we are going to read the structure from 4 hours, we're going to focus on this bullish push, because there are structures this bullish push, is creating. So that is what we're going to pay attention to now. So have that in mind when you're reading the market structure. You don't need to come and start, very far away, trying to analyze what is not needed at that point. So pay attention to the recent structures. So we got this obvious break of structure from the daily time frame, but like I said, I would love to read the 4-hour structure to get the internal structure. That is how we can be able to get into a trade. So if you check, this was the last break of structure before price tapped into that FVG, as we can see from 4 hours. So after that, we got this change of character here. We got this change of character, and now we have this break of structure here. We have another break of structure here. We have another break of structure here from 4 hours. Okay, so let's go to 2 hours to view these structures clearly. Okay, from 2 hours, you can see where this break of structure occurred. That's the last break of structure before price tapped into this imbalance. And then we got the change of character here. So this particular break of structure, price has tapped into the FVG. Now we have this particular origin unmitigated, but we cannot start targeting this origin at this point because the market is very far away from it, so it's going to be pending. So from 2 hours, we're getting same structure we saw from 4 hours, so it's a bullish run. Let's view from 1 hour. Okay, so from 1 hour, what do we have present? You can also see this break of structure here, and you can see price respecting the origin. So that is what we have currently on XAUUSD. This particular break of structure, the origin is unmitigated. We also have FVG present, so it's a very nice structure or a very nice origin. That is if gold doesn't, continue to break to the upside. So currently, gold is reacting to the origin that caused this break of structure. Let's view from 30 minutes. So you can see it's also respecting the origin, but normally an origin that doesn't have FVG, for me, I map it out as support level. So if you check the origin gold is reacting to, you will notice that we don't have, the origin is not inviting, it's not attractive for us to start looking for a trade from there because we don't have our FVG present. If you know all the confluences you need to see before you take your trades, you understand what I'm saying. So we don't have our FVG present. So normally when I see that type of origin, I map it out as support level. So that is where market is reacting to from this support, and it is pushing up. So we are now looking at our 15 minutes time frame, which is also very visible. You can also see from 15 minutes, this particular origin gold is reacting to does not have FVG, so it just tapped into the support and it is pushing. So what we're going to do now is to read the internal structures of this trend from 15 minutes. Okay, so if you check, this was the last break of structure to the upside before price, started rallying to the downside. So after this break of structure, we got this was where the change of character occurred here. But before that change of character, we started getting internal break of structures here to the downside. We have this break of structure here, price reacted, pushed down. Then we have another break of structure here. We have another break of structure here before the change of character. So you can see how price tapped into the origin that caused the change of character and pushed it further to the downside. So that simply means this is the last break of structure to the downside before price started pushing back up. So after price tapped into this support, this is what we have. This is what we have. We got this break of structure to the upside and change of character to the upside from here. Change of character to the upside from here. So I'm just checking because what is happening now is just the push that is coming from this support. And if you check, all the movement is kind of choppy. Having in mind that if you're looking at the movement gold is printing, you will know that gold is overbought. So personally for me, I'm expecting a drop, maybe to the origin that we have pending below. We also have this break of structure that is visible from 15 minutes. So let me zoom out so that you will see what I'm talking about. We have this origin that is unmitigated from 15 minutes. Price may be targeting that level. So let's see. So currently this is what XAUUSD is doing. So I'm just observing. You can see after this break of structure, I guess this push up now is coming from this imbalance. Price did not even tap in, or it's around this imbalance. So I'm just observing what gold is doing. Let's see if it's going to break this resistance level above. If it breaks this resistance level, then we'll know that we are still buying XAUUSD. But if it doesn't, then we can sell to catch the correctional move on XAUUSD. So for now, there is no instant execution and there is no pending order. So I'm just observing the movement on XAUUSD. Because all this consolidation here, what I try to read is actually the internal structures to understand what is going on. But all this consolidation here, they are looking like liquidity that is accumulating. So price may likely drop to look for the nearest origin to continue its movement. So like I said, we also have this point here to wait, and this point. We have two unmitigated origins below. So let's see. We're just going to be watching XAUUSD, but for now, there's no instant execution unless there is someone buying from this support. If you're buying from this support, then you should be targeting this point for your take profit. Okay. So let me know, is there anyone buying from this support already? So we may get a drop on XAUUSD. Let's see what it will do if it gets to this resistance level. Trying to catch a buy on XAUUSD would have been from this point if this, was actually a very clean and inviting order block. So we're going to keep observing on XAUUSD. So let's look at BTC. Do I have BTC traders in the house? BTC traders, are you here? Okay. So on BTC, we have something here. All right. So looking at BTC from the daily time frame, you will know that we've been very bearish, but now it's picking up. So let's just read the structure so that you understand what I'm saying. A break of structure here, we got a change of character somewhere here. We got a change of character here. So more breaks to the downside here, and also a break of structure here. Also a break of structure here. So if you check this particular break of structure, this is the origin. This is the origin to this particular break of structure. And you can see price tapped in, dished out a sell. Well, you can see how the buyers are approaching. I was able to point this out for my mentees during our weekly prep on Sunday for those that were trying to sell BTC. So I had to warn them about this because BTC is pushing up, trying to break all these supply zones, and it's dropping other blocks as it is pushing up. So if you check what happened here, as price was pushing up, it tapped into this particular origin, dropped, but you can see what the buyers did here. This is an order block which price tapped into and cleared this origin to the upside. And they've also dropped another order block here, which price is reacting to, and it is pushing up. So from here to here, we can see that BTC is kind of bearish, but you can see after it tapped into this particular order block here, this one here, we are getting that strong push to the upside. So that simply means BTC is turning bullish, because if we go to the 4-hour time frame, this is the structure we're going to read from here to here. So let's check from 4 hours. So let's just take this out and read that of 4 hours time frame. So looking at it from 4 hours, this is the supply zone that I was expecting to clear BTC to the downside. But now this is what we have present. This is another supply zone that can also dish out a sell if it's strong enough, and you can see price is reacting there now. So what do we have? You can see the bullish structure we're getting on BTC at the moment. We have this break of structure, price tapped into the imbalance. We have another break of structure here, and we have this particular break of structure as this last break of structure, which price is reacting to the origin that caused that break of structure. That is what is dishing out this buy. So let's see what this particular supply zone will do, whether it will stop the buyers or if the buyers will break through. So looking at it from 2 hours, so this is the supply zone we're looking at. So looking at it from 2 hours, you can also see this break of structure and the origin price, mitigated, and it's pushing up. So let's view from 1 hour. So from 1 hour, we can be targeting the origin at this point, which is where price tapped into. So as we are going to 15 minutes, this is the structure we're going to read from here to here, as we are observing how price is going to react to this supply zone. So let's check from 30 minutes. Okay. From 30 minutes, let's read the structure after price tapped into this particular origin. So this is what we have, the last break of structure before price tapped in. And then a change of character here, which price came back into the origin to mitigate, and then a break of structure here, just generally a break of structure here. Okay. Then from 15 minutes, okay, from 15 minutes, this is what we have. So what I'm just waiting for on BTC from this 15 minutes time frame is to know what price is going to do once it gets to this supply zone. So if you check from 15 minutes, we even need to extend the supply zone further to the upside to this point. So currently I'm expecting more push on BTC. So let's just read the internal structures. We have a break of structure here. We also have a break of structure here. So this is actually the last break of structure, and I guess that's where price is reacting to as it is pushing up. Okay, price tapped into the imbalance. Okay, so still looking at the BTC movement, nothing is ready for us at the moment. So I'm just observing the movement, but I believe it is targeting the resistance level here. So we just need another reason to join the buy as price is pushing up. So currently it's just this FVG that is dishing out this current movement. So there's nothing for us for now on BTC. So we just need to calm down and just be observing. Just need to calm down and just be observing. But I'm expecting a buy. Let's say if we get, okay, we've gotten a clearer break of structure here. So let's observe on the origin price may come back to, because I'm seeing an unmitigated order block somewhere here. And these ones, I'm seeing them as liquidity as price has mitigated this FVG. So if we can get a clearer break of structure here after this candlestick closes, then we can wait for a retracement into this level, then we can buy BTC. So for now, let's just be observing. Is that clear, guys? Is it clear? So this is how you need to like bring out time to observe. You know, I keep saying this, if you want to understand how to, you know, trade with this particular strategy, you need to be very good with market structure. You need to learn how to read every nook and cranny. Don't belittle any candlestick. Read every structure. If you can't see the structure well, zoom in so that you can be able to point it out. So if we get this break of structure, a tap here, we can keep pushing BTC to the upside. So let's be observing. Let's look at GBP, JPY. So for GBP, JPY, from the higher time frame, so if you can remember, I've been mapping out this particular break of structure and how I've been waiting for price to get to this particular order block, and last week price was able to tap into this particular order block, which gave me a decent buy last week. So this order block is still dishing out its movement, so I'm expecting it to at least push to this level or even more. So if we are going to read the structure we're going to read is actually this buy that this particular order block is printing out. Okay, looking at it from 4 hours, this is what we have after price tapped in. After price tapped in, we have an unmitigated order block here from 4 hours. Now the unmitigated order block, that origin dished out this break of structure. Okay, so viewing from 2 hours, here. Okay, so from 2 hours, this was the last break of structure before price tapped in. So this one will now be a change of character. So you can see price came back, tapped into imbalance and continued to push up, leaving this particular order block unmitigated. So we're going to leave this order block pending because from 1 hour, this is the structure we're going to be looking at. So let's view what the market is doing. Last break of structure to the downside before we started getting a push up. And then we have an internal break of structure here. We have an internal break of structure here, price tapped into the origin. So let's okay. So after this break of structure, we have another break of structure here. This was where the change of character happened. Okay. We have another break of structure here. So that simply means we have an unmitigated origin here. And then we have a new break of structure here. So this particular break of structure, we have this origin here. So let's view from 30 minutes. Okay, so from 30 minutes, this particular origin, we have it here. And then this one here. Let's go down to our entry time frame, which is 15 minutes, and know the next line of action to take. So from 15 minutes, this is what we have. We have an unmitigated origin here, but if I'm going to wait for this origin, it's going to be at this point from 15 minutes. And then the last break of structure, this is it from here. This is the origin that caused the last break of structure. Okay, so now the question is, should we wait for a buy at this point? Let's observe the movement. I wouldn't want us to go into a trap by taking a trade from an inducement point. So we just have this point and this point. Because GBP is bullish, so we just need to be waiting for a buy at this point. Okay, so we have this level to wait for. If we are trying to take trades from this level, then we're trying to take a continuation trade, and price has given us equal high here, so I'm expecting price to clear this level. So we'll wait for GBP here, and we'll also leave this one pending. I'm seeing this point now as an inducement, so I wouldn't feel comfortable to take a buy from there. So we're going to wait for GBP at this point. If you're in agreement with me, say yes in the comment. But if you're not, you can also tell us what you're observing. But this point, I'm not interested in this other block here. I'm not interested in this particular other block. We can wait for GBP here to get a decent buy to the upside. Okay, someone is saying no in the comments. You want to take a buy from here? I'm just, showing you guys how I take my trades. I wouldn't be looking to buy here. I'll be waiting for it here. So let's see what price will do if it gets here. I'm not going to write out the coordinates because I'm going to observe what price is going to do around there. Why? Because the origin is kind of looking tricky. Price may tap in and may want to extend to this one before it will push. Something like that happened yesterday on GBPJPY, because this particular break of structure here, this is the origin that caused the break of structure. So you can see how price pierced through the origin, cleared liquidity to tap into this one before the movement happened. So if you are trying to take a buy from this particular origin, you would have been stopped out and price will still move to your direction. So something like that just showed up again. So that is why I am also observing. So we're not going to take an instant execution here. I'm just going to put an alert when price gets there. Then if I see reasons for us to get in, I will call out the trade for an instant execution. So let's be observing. Okay, so that's what we have on GBPJPY. Let's look at GBPUSD. So on GBPUSD from the daily time frame, you can see the most recent structure. It is screaming bullish after we got this break of structure here to the upside. I believe price tapped into, okay, price reacted off this level, and now we have a new break of structure and this one too. So let's go to 4 hours to get a clearer view of this structure. So if we are trying to read the structure here, we're going to read the internal structure of this movement that is from here to here to understand how we can get in on GBPUSD. So looking at GBPUSD, before this movement started to the upside, this was the last break of structure. change of character. Okay, so we also have a break of structure here, which price mitigated the origin, and then we have a break of structure here. And I believe this is the most recent break of structure. So let's go to 2 hours and get a clearer view. Okay, this particular break of structure, price has tapped into the imbalance. So the structure price is creating here, that is what we should focus on. We have another break of structure here. From 2 hours, price tapped into the imbalance. So this is the most recent break of structure. Let's view that from 1 hour. So from 1 hour break of structure here, price indeed tapped into the 1 hour origin. Okay, dishing out this new break of structure. So price mitigated the origin too. So let's view from 30 minutes. Okay, from 30 minutes, I can see an unmitigated OB here, which is this one. Our price has respected this one and it's pushing to the upside. Then from 15 minutes, we have this point. So price didn't mitigate that of the 15 minutes origin. So we're just going to keep this one out. Then we have this point here. Okay, so we have this point. This is also an important level to wait for GBP USD. As price has already mitigated this level, so I'm seeing it as an inducement, just like what we have on GBP JPY. So checking for our confluences, we have imbalance here. So let's see if we're going to get a drop. I'm not waiting for price to come and tap in here. I'm seeing it as liquidity price will clear. So preferably I'll wait for it here. So let's see if we're going to get a drop. Or if we keep getting more push to the upside, then this level may now be the valid point to wait for it. So just like what we have on GBP JPY, we're still going to keep this alert here, then to wait for price to dish out something. Then if we also want to catch the correctional move, then we can get change of character, something like this, and then we can sell GBP USD to this point. Okay, so let me know if that's clear. GBP USD traders, have you been able to look at your pair, and are you having same setup with me? Okay. So let's look at USD card. Okay, so from USD card, from the daily time frame, we are seeing a bearish run. We have this change of character here. Break of structure here. And another break of structure here. Okay, so let's view from 4 hours. Okay, so from 4 hours, we're trying to read the internal structures prices creating here. So this is a supply zone that is very visible from 4 hours. Then from 2 hours, This supply zone is also what we need to wait for. But then we have a breakout structure here. We also have a breakout structure here. Now, this particular breakout structure, we have the origin here. That's where we have the origin. So price is yet to give us a change of character at that point. But then we have internal breakout structure inside here, which price is respecting the origin at the moment. So viewing from 1 hour, so I'm not expecting a buy at this point. If I want to join the correctional move, then I want the market to give me a clean change of character before we can start targeting all these origins above. Okay, from 30 minutes, this is what we have. So 30 minutes, this is showing up as a change of character because this particular breakout structure, this is the origin at this point. And then this is the other block here. So let's read the structure from 15 minutes. So the supply zone we have from the daily time frame, refining it to 15 minutes, it's here, and we don't have any imbalance there. So if we are waiting for anything on USD card, we have this supply zone to wait for this one here. Okay, so this is what we have. So currently I'm checking if the correctional move is starting off from here. But then if you check, the origin is meant to come and tap into is this one. But this is where price is currently reacting to. From here. So if we are waiting for anything on USD card, it's going to be a sell from this point because we're bearish. Whatever that is happening here, this is a correctional move, and I wouldn't want us to like get in at this point. So let's just observe. So this I'm also seeing as liquidity price will sweep to tap into this point. So that's what we have on USD card. Alert set. And then this correctional move I'm also observing because we may get something like this and then we can get in to this point. So price will obviously come here, react, or something like this, then we can drop it again. So that's what we have present on USD card. So let's just be observing. No rush at all. When you're doing your analysis, it's not compulsory that you must get into a trade immediately. You get in when there is something. If there is nothing, you set your traps and wait. That is how you learn to trade with peace of mind, no stress at all. Okay, so let's look at which other pair should I look at. Let's look at USDJPY. Okay, so for USDJPY, from the daily time frame, this breakout structure is obvious. And then we have this origin here. So price has pierced through. So I guess it's targeting this point. this point. So currently this is where it's reacting to, this support level. Okay, and then reading the current structures, which is the bearish structure, we have a breakout structure here. We also have a breakout structure here. Then from 4 hours, a breakout structure here. And a breakout structure here. And you can see from the breakout structure, no visible or inviting origin for a sell. Viewing from 2 hours, still something. Okay, then from 1 hour, what do we have from 1 hour? From 1 hour, more breakout structures to the downside before price tapped in. Okay, this was an equal high, not a clean change of character. So this particular origin, that is where price is reacting to. 30 minutes. So from 30 minutes, this is also what we have. We have an order block here that caused an internal breakout structure. Internal breakout structure here, which price tapped into and pushed to the upside. So this is more like a range. So the buyers are trying to take off from here. So now what do we have? We have another break of structure here. Okay. So if we're waiting for anything, it will be to wait for GBP JPY at this point. USD JPY. Okay, so this is what we have. Currently from the higher time frame, USD JPY is bearish, but is respecting the support level. So if price should come back to this level, you may expect a buy, but if it pierces through this support, then we know that it is coming to this other block below. So if you trade USD JPY, also put an alert here to observe what price will do once it gets here. Okay, we have 10 more minutes to go. So let's quickly look at US oil. Okay, so from US oil, from the daily time frame, we have this breakout structure. It has been a strong bearish trend. We have this breakout structure. So we're going to go down to the lower time frame to understand what is going on here. Okay, so looking at that point from 4 hours, what do we have present? We have more breakout structures to the downside. Then we also have this internal Okay, there's a change of character. Origin here, so price didn't come back to that origin. So let's view from 2 hours. Then origin at this point. Okay, so price is respecting the imbalance and is trying to push up. So currently we have a resistance level at this point. Let's read the 1 hour structure. So this point is still looking very inviting for us because I'm expecting a drop. So what price has done here is trying to create liquidity. Because now if you check, we have a break of structure here, change of character here, which has given us this particular origin and price didn't tap into that particular origin. So we cannot be tricked into trying to take a buy from here when we have this origin. And also having in mind that US oil is bearish from the higher time frame. So this origin is still very visible for us to wait for price to get here. Okay, so from 15 minutes time frame, everything's still aligning. But now if you check from 15 minutes, this particular origin is not also inviting, no FVG, nothing at all. So I'm expecting a drop. If we can get a push into this resistance level, then the drop can start from there. But then we just need to be observing because there is no clean execution from US oil unless price gets to this level, then we can start observing. So I'm also going to put that alert. So most of the commodities that we're looking at, they're not set yet to give us money, and we don't need to force it. So we just need to be setting our traps and be observing. Okay, one more pair and that will be all for today. So I'm seeing AUD USD in the comment. So that's what we're going to look at now. Let's look at AUD USD and that will be all for today. Okay, for AUD USD, what do we have? A strong bullish push. Okay, there's a strong bullish push after we got this break of structure here. So as we're going to 4 hours, the structure we're going to read is from here to here. Okay, let's head back to, so from the daily time frame, this is where price is at, resistance level. Okay, from 4 hours, what do we have? A break of structure here. Then we also have a visible break of structure here. Another break of structure here. Then this is the last break of structure here. So let's view from 2 hours. Okay, now here we have this break of structure, price tapped into the origin. Another break of structure, price tapped into the origin. Now we have this point. So this is the current break of structure. Looking at it from 1 hour, we have an unmitigated origin here. Then 30 minutes, unmitigated origin here. Break of structure here. Another unmitigated origin. So if I want to wait for a buy on AUD/USD, it's going to be here because price is reacting off this resistance level from the daily time frame. So I'm expecting it to pierce through this. So this correctional move is something we can look forward to catch on AUD/USD. Then if you're expecting a buy, you wait for it here because I'm seeing this point as an inducement. Price may likely push off. Okay, so we also need to wait for price at this point. And while this sell, if we want to catch this sell, if we trade this pair AUD/USD, trying to catch this sell, this origin may be a stumbling block. So now all you just need to wait for is proof that the sellers are in. You can get a sharp drop, then any tiny retracement, you can catch the drop either to this point or to this point. All right. So that will be all for today, guys. Thanks for joining. And if you have questions for me, or if you want to join my different mentorship class, like I stated before, I have 3 classes. So if you just want to brush yourself up within 1 month, you can join the 1 month class, which is $100. The 1 year class, $300. Lifetime class, $1,000. So I'll just drop my WhatsApp number in the comments, and the link to my public group is also in the description. So you can join there. You can also see that most of our setup for today, we just need to, market is not set yet for us. So if there is anyone that is ready, I'll call out the signal in all the groups. So thanks guys for joining, and I will see you guys next week. So check the description, you will see my WhatsApp number there. Let me also drop that in the comment. Okay. Okay, so my WhatsApp number, link to the Telegram group and everything is there in the comment. So if any of our setup is ready, I'll still let you guys know. I'll drop the coordinates and we'll be able to catch the trade together, just like we were able to catch gold last week. So let's see how it goes. Bye for now.